male or female, when they go in for their first job, entry-level job, they're told that if you don't speak Spanish, we can't hire you. Well, this is America. Why should they have to speak Spanish? Sure, it is beneficial. Hablo español. I mean, every job I've gotten because I've been bilingual. Actually, I'm trilingual. But it is a force, and it's very desperately changing the fabric of Black entry into the workplace. And the fact that our children are required to know a foreign language in order to get their first job. Now, that's not all places, but definitely a lot of them in California and on the border in Texas. And that should never be. I mean, English is our common language in the United States. I believe everybody should speak English, but no one should be required to speak Spanish in order to get a job. Simplemente es necesario hablar en inglés, no solamente en español. Ándale. So I would like to see people look at Black people who are exiting the Democratic Party. They need our support. They need our help. They need to know that they are not alone. These people are the Harriet Tubmans of today. She knew what it was to be really free, Harriet Tubman. She knew that freedom was a state of mind as much as it was physical. She said, I freed thousands of slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. Wake up, America. We have been had by the Democratic Party. They have written you checks that they can not and have no intention of cashing. That check would bounce like their empty promises. Black Republicans are your Harriet Tubman, whether you know it or not. Kanye may seem like a kooky guy, but sometimes he is dead right on this. Black people, we are tired of being a pet project for liberals. They will pat you on the head mentally and use you to make themselves feel better. They will say things like, oh, my Black friend did this and my Black friend did that. You know, they do the same thing to gays, which is completely different. But like Kathy Griffith, the comedian, she'll say, oh, my gays, I just love my gays. Doesn't that sound like she's treating them like a pet? How superior. She's the same comedian that held the head of Donald Trump, the fake head with the blood all over it. Real classy Kathy Griffith. When people look for racism all the time, though, they'll find it. My father experienced real racism in the 40s and 50s. But yet, he didn't let that stop him because he didn't concentrate on that. He concentrated on working. He had 5 children. He took care of us. He did what a man is supposed to do, take care of his family. And look at what's happened to the Black family today as a result of Democrat policies and programs. All these programs, every time I hear the word program, it makes me want to cringe. When they interviewed Al Sharpton said in an interview, where's Donald Trump programs for Black people? That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The last thing Black people need in this country is another damn program. We need deprogramming from all the indoctrination that goes on in our public school system. We need deprogramming from the liberal bullcrap that we learned in school. We need mass deprogramming. The last thing we need is another one of your liberal programs that separate our families. Forget that families at the border. Those programs separated our families, our children from our Black men. That is what those programs did. They incarcerated Black men, and children are born, 70% that are born. Most of them are killed in Planned Parenthood. If you want to go to a Planned Parenthood, you're going to have to be real comfortable going into a Black neighborhood because that's where they put them on purpose. That was by design. And if a black person wants to stay on that plantation, and those people, the liberals who put those things in place that have destroyed our families, then God help you. God help you. But if you want to be intellectually honest, you are going to say, I will no longer be a member of a party that has destroyed black families, incarcerated black men. It is not an accident, people. Clinton built more prisons than any president ever. Ever. He's made money from it. Hillary Clinton called black men super predators. And you want to tell me that Republicans are the racist? No. Get a clue. And when you see a black man or woman who declares that he is now a conservative and or a Republican, you should shake his hand and say, good for you, because our issues are the same as the rest of America. We don't want our kids on drugs. We don't want to be killed by illegal aliens. We don't want to be killed by MS-13. We want better schools. Those are our issues. I want school choice, so every American gets a chance to pick where their child goes to school. Every American. These are all our issues. Black, white, yellow, and different. So stop with the mess, Democrat. Stop with your lies. Stop with, oh, the black people really need us. This one lady I ran into at my church, she made some kind of ridiculous joke about Trump, and I didn't laugh because I really love our president. And she looked at me strange like, oh, you're one of those. Yeah, white lady. I'm one of those. I'm one of those black people who has that brain. I'm not saying black Democrats don't have a brain, but I think that the brainwashing is complete. And I think they need to get a little dirt under their nails and learn what reality really is. Because reality is you're all getting food. T.I., oh, I can't stand you. Every time you talk, it just makes, I feel dumber for having listened to T.I. whenever he speaks. I say, oh my gosh, I have just wasted an entire minute of my life that I'll never get back. Did you see how he yelled at Candace Owen? And she's our hero. She is brave. It takes absolutely no balls whatsoever to be a black Democrat. It takes balls of steel to be a black Republican. Do you have what it takes? I do. And I'm going to keep on doing it too. If and until and after Trump is reelected in 2020, because we need this man to run our country. We are not going to hand our country over to a bunch of globalist socialists. Not willingly. Not without a fight. This is what we're going to do in 2020. And I suggest all of you join us. We want our country back. And we're going to get it back. And in the end, Lord say the same, we'll win. Because good will win over evil. And our good people, you know what? I'm so proud of my white Republican friends because they have supported me in my efforts. And I think this is how this country ought to be. Mutual love, mutual respect. Encourage one another in faith, hope, and love. Encourage one another. That's what the Bible teaches me. And for my friends who are coming out of that party, God bless you. We will be all right. We will be all right in this country in 2020. God bless you and have a great day. Bye. This is Kathy with KathysRight.com. Be sure to subscribe.